Hey there, it's Alicia here at New VA Advice, where I offer business, marketing, and mindset coaching to help virtual assistants and service providers get out of overwhelm and create a business that they love. Today, I want to talk about the costs involved in starting your business. The first thing I want to tell you is you don't need all the things, all of them right now to start your business. There are some basics. And then there are some things you may need depending on the services that you're starting out with. But note that I said the services that you're starting out with. So yes, it's great to have a future plan of what you want your business to be and what you want to offer, but I also want you to focus on what you can do right now. Hey, Angel. So costs involved. Now, I can't give you a be-all, end-all post and tell you exactly how much money. Everyone is in a different position when starting their business, but I can tell you, yes, investing is important. You need to invest something. I always tell people your time or your money, or both. If you don't have a lot of money, you're going to invest a lot of time in getting started. If you have more money, you can put money in with the time. Either way, there has to be an investment. Now, like I said, there are some basics, though, that you need to start out with. So we're going to talk about those today, and then some additional things that may not cost as much as you think. Other things to consider, but again, maybe it's down the road for you. Maybe you can't do it right away. Things to invest in the future might be something like coaching or mentoring with someone, or taking a course to allow you to add a new service to your business. Those are things that you can do at any time. So I can tell you, I started my business very lean. And then I learned the importance of investing. And then as I made a little money, I would put a little money back into my business. And that's kind of how it got going and how it worked for me. So like I said, things can be added later. You don't need them all right off the bat. But here are your basics. A computer of some kind, an internet connection, and the ability to use your phone or online conferencing. Those are usually your basics that you're going to need. So let me be more specific about them. A computer can be anything that you can work from. It can be a desktop, laptop, tablet, whatever works for you. Some people like a dedicated office space. Some people like that they can go anywhere and work in a coffee shop or in their backyard. It doesn't matter, but you need one of these items to do the work on because, right, the whole thing is we're virtual. So you need something to work on, some type of computer that is reliable where you can do your work. So that's number one. Internet connection. You need it to be reliable and fast because your whole business is based on this. If you can't get online, you're not going to be able to do your work and communicate with clients. So that's important. Make sure you have a fast, reliable connection. Now, also consider when you're going outside of the home. Let's say you want to go to a local coffee shop and do your work. Awesome. I love that you're thinking outside the box and you're free to do that. But just remember what you're doing on a public Wi-Fi, okay? Think about that. Think about other people being able to access it as well. You want to make sure that your information, your client's information is safe. So in that case, you may want to consider what you're doing when you're out on public Wi-Fi and also think about something like a VPN, which is a virtual private network. You can purchase your own and be able to use it wherever you go to protect yourself and your client's work. Like I said, you're not in this alone. You have to protect your client's information. They need to know that they can trust you to keep things safe. So it's important, and it's an important thing to think about when you're thinking about internet connections, okay? Then the other thing I mentioned is phone or online conference ability, because at some point you're going to be talking to someone. Maybe you're not necessarily offering customer service where you're on the phone all day, but you need to connect with your clients or potential clients. So sometimes it's a phone call, sometimes it's an email. Sometimes it'd be better to have like a face-to-face online conference. You can see each other. You can have that connection that we don't get because we're not in the brick and mortar world anymore. So online conferencing is great for that. It's also a great tool to help when you are working through something with your client. Maybe they're showing you how they do something, or you want to create a tutorial for them. Maybe you set up a new program or something for them, and you can use this software to show them. You can do a screen share. You can do a video for them. So something like that is important too. Phone, you have options now. Again, like I said, it doesn't have to be super expensive. There are things like Google Voice or Grasshopper. So you're able to get a number to redirect to your own number. So you don't necessarily have to give out your personal home or cell phone number. You get this free number and you can route it through your phone so you'll know when that rings, it's a business call. So things like that are an option. Like I said, Google Voice, Grasshopper. Then you have online conferencing. Tons of things out there nowadays. You've probably heard of Zoom. That is a great option. I like things that are easy to learn tech-wise. That just made it easy for me. It wasn't a stumbling block. I could continue on with my business if I knew how to use the tech really easily. So there are things like Zoom or Skype or Uber Conference that I've used many times with my own clients. So again, some way to have phone accessibility and some kind of online conferencing accessibility, not huge expenses. Okay, so that was our basics: computer, internet, phone, or online conferencing. Look at that. We just covered the basic stuff. Now, like I said, the rest is going to depend. Some of the things depend on what services you're offering. So if you're offering some type of high-end design services, you will probably want Photoshop, something like that, okay? There are other basic things though. If you're not doing high-end design, but you're doing some, whether it's for yourself or clients, you can use something like Canva. I love Canva. It is great for that. I am not a designer and I can make things on Canva. So it's user-friendly. There is a free version and then there's pro versions. Most of these things that I'm going to talk about is, you can have free trials or free versions where maybe you don't get as much as the pro, but you might not need all of those bells and whistles starting out. I'm going to repeat that. I think a lot of people get stuck in that mindset of, I have to have all the things and I have to get them set up so that I look professional so people will take me seriously. They're going to take you seriously other ways that you present yourself. It's how you're coming off to them. It's how you're showing them that you can do the work that you're saying you can do. You have the ability, you've done this. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to have been in an online setting. It could have been in your previous job. But that's how you're going to get across that you're professional. There are other ways to do that. You don't have to have all of the bells and whistles to start out with, okay? Other things to consider as far as costs and starting up. So you might be thinking about a website. You may or may not be starting off with that right off the bat. But if anything, when you choose your business name, if you know a website is something you're going to want down the road, but maybe you're not doing it right away, you can purchase the domain name for the website. So like I said, if you know your business name or it's your own name or whatever it might be, you may want to snatch up those domain names that are variations of that. It's something that I did right away. Very cost effective to just buy domain names. You can go on and see if they're available for the name that you chose for your business. I personally use Namecheap. I like them, but you can go on to a number of these types of sites and it will tell you if the name you want is available. And like I said, it's a good idea to pick variations of it too, so that you just own them all. It's not really expensive to just buy domains, and they're usually due up yearly. So it's cost effective to just grab it. Now, if you are getting a website right away, it's something you want to work on initially, then you do need to think about hosting as well. So that's another piece of it. Yolanda's reminding us, make sure it's not a trademarked name, so make sure someone else doesn't have it, which is a great idea. You can go online to the Patent and Trademark website for the US anyway. I'm sure there's other sites for other countries. Find out if someone's already using that name. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so that's your domain name. Hosting, again, if you're getting a website right away. If not, that's not something you need to worry about right now. I use MomWeb's hosting and I love them. They have great customer service. Other things, if you are doing any in-person networking, so you're going to maybe go to events or conferences in person, this is where you want to think about maybe having a business card or a brochure or a pamphlet or something that says, who you are and what you do. So that's something to consider. Again, doesn't have to be super expensive. You can create it on Canva and order through them. Now they have printing services. You can use something like Vistaprint online, super cost effective for business cards. If you're not doing in-person networking right away, you don't need to get these things right away. Like I said, consider the costs of what you need right now to get started. You can always add things. But if it's part of your marketing plan and you know you're going to be going to some events or conferences, you do want something. So consider, like I said, business card or a pamphlet or a brochure or postcard or something. But again, you can do it cost effectively through Canva or through something like Vistaprint. Other things to consider. When you're thinking about setting up your business and what you need to be a business, one of the things you need to do is take money in from your clients, right? You want to invoice them and get paid. There are lots of ways that you can do this. So if you scroll through my group or my website, you'll see there's tons of options out there. If you're looking for easy to start out with, for example, if you have a PayPal business account, you can send invoices and you can send estimates for free, and they look professional. No one's going to say, oh, well, I don't know, how they're making this. It's PayPal. People know PayPal. So it's just I'm trying to give you easy, simple things when it comes to the costs of setting up your business. Okay. So if you use PayPal, if you have a business account set up there, which you want to have a separate account set up anyway, you can do invoicing and estimates for free through them. Same thing when we're talking about accounts, you'll want to have a separate bank account. Now, a lot of banks, you can do that for free now. You don't even have to have a minimum amount to start the account, but it's something you want to look into. So you can set up that bank account with your PayPal account and you're good to go as far as the money aspect of setting up in your business. What else? A place to store the files that you are going to be working with, whether it's your files or your client's files. Yes, you can keep them on your computer, but it's so much nicer to think about a cloud solution. I love Dropbox for this. So you can make all kinds of folders, and it's private and protected, and you can also access it anywhere. So if you're on your tablet or your phone or your laptop, you can access these files. They all sync up with each other. I love it for that reason. And then you can make separate folders for each client. For example, something I do is I'll share a folder with a client and no one else can see that information but me and the client. So it's really nice. Again, they give you so much storage for free when you sign up. And then there's paid versions, but it's still not that very expensive to do paid. But start with the free. And then if you get to the point where you need more space, then you can look at adding it. Like I said, you really want to think about costs and what do I absolutely need when I'm starting out? What else did I want to mention to you? I have a list here. Something like Google Docs. Again, free, and it's a way for you to share files with clients. You can both edit things, again, depending on the kind of services that you're providing if you'll need this, but often comes in handy. You can both go into Google Docs. You can share a file where it's private between the two of you. You can edit it, write to each other, make notes on the file. Super convenient for that. It's not costing you anything. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is CRMs. Some people think they need some kind of a customer relationship management system right off the bat. Maybe you want to, and that's great. If not, that's okay too. You do need to be organized and figure out how you're contacting people what's a way that you're keeping track of that. So you could start with an Excel file if you wanted and some Word docs to keep yourself organized with clients. If you want to go to a CRM, think about what you need right now. And there are some that are easy to learn. You can play around with them. They have their own tutorials. You can learn how to use it. You can go on to YouTube. It's a great tool to find out how to use things that you don't know how to use. I guarantee it. You can YouTube lots of things, and that way you can follow along with someone else to learn how to use it. Ones that I recommend if you're just starting out, Trello or Asana. They are great. They work a little differently, but again, I think it's personality-wise and how you like to work. How do you know if it's right for you? Try it. A lot of things offer free trials or free for up to so many clients that you're holding in there or that kind of thing. So take a look and see. My point is you don't need to spend millions right now, but you need to invest something. You need to invest time or money or both. So again, when it comes to keeping track of your clients, Trello, Asana, those are really good options. You can do it where you have sections where you can keep everything about your business in there. Because if you're still in the business building part, you're going to have notes for yourself, right? All the things that you need to do and what you want to get done and when. You can keep notes for yourself in those programs. And then as you get clients, start adding them into your system. And again, those things are private as well. They're not going to see each other's information in there. So that's a good one to think about. The only other thing I would consider is some kind of password manager, especially when you're thinking about starting to work with clients and getting into their accounts and keeping things safe. So we want to make sure that other people aren't getting access to their information and getting the passwords to get in and out of things. So instead of them just handing you over a password right away or emailing it to you, having the opportunity that someone else may get that information who shouldn't, you can use a password manager like LastPass. That's the one I use and I love. They can send you information. You can share back and forth with passwords. It is not hard to learn how to figure out to use. And it can generate passwords for you, which is really great because that will help you keep your information protected as well. So password manager, like I said, LastPass is what I use. There are a lot of them out there though, so you can take a look. But my whole goal is to try to keep this simple and not as overwhelming. So sure, if you want to go find out what other people are using and post in groups and ask, you can absolutely do that. You don't need 5 password managers though, right? Just pick one and go with it. Move on to the next thing. I don't want these things to be something you're agonizing over in your business, okay? So those are what I consider the basics when you're looking at costs of starting a business. It is not the be all and end all. And like I said, it also will depend on the services that you're providing, but I hope that this at least gives you an idea of what you're looking at to get started and to know that you don't need everything right away from day one. You can add things as you need them later. As you pull a little money into your business, invest some money back into your business. It will help you learn and grow and create the business that you want. If you want to learn more about this concept of money in your business and what it takes to start and everything that goes into that, I invite you to join me for session 2 of the Business Workshop series, which is titled Money, Pricing, and Taxes. We're going to go over all of those things. Sometimes they're very taboo to talk about. Sometimes you can't talk about those things online because terms of service for social media platforms. So this is a private place where you can do it. You can go to newvaadvice.com/workshops. You'll see that there's 3 different ones because I touch on all the topics that it's going to take to start and grow your virtual assistant business. But session 2, like I said, is all about money and what you need to start, tips on saving it, ideas on how to make a little extra on the side while you're trying to build your business. We're going to go over how to price your particular services. So when you come into the workshop, you're going to get lessons, which are often videos and worksheets and workbooks. And I'm going to give you the steps to work through, but then we're going to have a private Facebook group. So as you're doing the work, you actually have somebody to talk to ask the questions of, to be held accountable, to say, okay, here's the part I'm on, but here's where I'm stuck or the question I have, because every one of you is different and every one of your businesses is different. So yes, you can grab DIY information, and I totally recommend it if it's just a piece that you're looking to get some information and you move on with it. But if you're also looking for that piece of support so that you know that you're on the right track, you can talk to someone else who has done this already, and you feel confident to then move on to the next step and be held accountable to do so. That's what the workshops are for. So again, newvaadvice.com/workshops, and look at session 2 because it's all about money, pricing, and taxes, and that's what we will talk about. This is, it could benefit anyone, but I am US based, so when we're talking about those things, I'm letting you know right now it's going to cover, US rules, regulations, money stuff. So questions, comments, let me know on anything that has to do with this, with money, with the costs of setting up your business. I would love to hear from you. If you have questions about the workshop in general, please comment, let me know. So that is it from me today. I hope that you're all having a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for joining.